zoomed out, so you can still see it traveling.
We have heard from a number of whistleblowers, specifically military pilots, that the reason for not coming forward publicly is out of fear that speaking out would cost them their flight status and potentially their careers. This is unacceptable.
I believe
we cannot protect our airspaces if our best...
Welcome back to Dean After Dark. Or After What? Whatever you want to call it. We're going to squeeze these in a little bit because I'm getting a little fed up. Been a lot of recent UFO developments in Congress. When it comes to the topic of UFOs or UAPs, with how they're being addressed, are you just not wanting to look at this? Or to anybody who wants to talk on it, to anybody who wants to speak on it, if you want to talk on it, what's the issue? Because there have been 20 plus reputable documented mass UFO sightings, far more than 20, at least 20 is what I'm saying, mass UFO sightings. But starting with the Phoenix Lights, the whole lights that was treated as it was by the government.
And now I'll ask Officer Stein and his colleagues to escort the accused into the room so that we may all look upon the guilty party. Don't get him too close to me, please.
In the alien costume, the governor's chief of staff.
This just goes to show that you guys are entirely too serious.
UFO enthusiasts were not amused, especially since the governor was believed to have seen nothing. Now he's coming out.
The lights were really brilliant, and it was just fascinating. It was enormous. It just felt otherworldly.
That was laughed off, as it usually is. These things have been happening. See, it almost comes to but I feel like the conservatives are, they've had a track record. MAGA people tend to be following the UFO stuff, associating with them more because they're conspiracy theorists. The UFO thing has been quite unique. It's unfortunate that it's only the conservatives who are able to enjoy this conversation. We are here in those communities for this. I saw comments on the videos like, we shouldn't be talking about this. There's all this stuff going on. That's true. But if our airspace is surrounded by a whole lot of shit, don't you think that they can bring it up at least once or twice? We're talking about international security concerns, in my opinion. It could very well be a foreign technology. I don't know why people are commenting about this, because what bothers me the most is the lack of people being taken seriously who need to be taken seriously. I don't with bullying, stupidity. I'm not here for that. I'm gonna be part of that. As we get into it in the video, we'll talk about people fearing that they're gonna lose their career because they report these type of things. I don't know why y'all don't want your airspace to be more safe. Y'all don't like nothing new. That's the tea. So let's come out into it. It's true that this is a government-held hearing. Again, it's international security. It's just people. The comments piss me off so many times. Oh, I'm high. Same. I gotta grab you somewhere.
This is when it zoomed out, so you can still see it traveling.
We have heard from a number of whistleblowers, specifically military pilots, that the reason for not coming forward publicly is out of fear that speaking out would cost them their flight status and potentially their careers. This is unacceptable.
I believe
we cannot protect our airspaces if our best trained observers are silenced. We cannot advance science if we refuse to ask questions. And we cannot maintain trust in government if we keep the American people in the dark.
I'm here today because the American people have both the right and the responsibility to know the truth about unidentified aerial phenomenon. That truth remains hidden, classified and silenced by fear, retaliation, stigma, and confusion.
How awkward is that?
Today, we are here to help break that silence.
How awkward
Between
is that?
2003 and 2005, 5 UAP incidents occurred at Vandenberg Air Force Base.
Just to be laughed off like
home to the National Missile Defense Project, a top national security priority. At the time, we were conducting launches deemed by the National Reconnaissance Office as the most important in 25 years. These were historic launches. These facilities were vital, and they were repeatedly visited by UAP. The incursions began on October 14th, 2003, when Boeing contractors reported a massive glowing red square silently hovering over 2 missile defense sites. After several minutes, it drifted further east onto the base and vanished over the hills. This event, now known as the Vandenberg Red Square, was referenced by Representative Luna at the first hearing on this topic. Official Air Force records of this event are in possession by Aero and the FBI.
No, these people can speak on it.
Later that night, while I was on
bring it up. And you can take
security
them
guards at
seriously
a
for
critical
once.
launch site reported a bright, fast-moving object over the ocean.
And just
I
comment
responded to
like
the
you would
incident.
comment under your anime.
Chaos
okay?
ensued over the radio as the object approached rapidly. I heard my friends screaming, "It's coming right at us, it's coming right for us, and now it's right here." Moments later, I heard them say that it had shot off and was gone. About a week later, another patrol reported a light over the ocean, behaving erratically. Believing it might be an unannounced aircraft, they declared an emergency, and an armed response force responded. Before the forces could arrive, the object descended, landed, or hovered on our flight line,
Right.
and then took off again at impossible speed.
Right.
The witnesses to this event were threatened and intimidated afterward. They were told to keep quiet and think about what they were
All
reporting.
for the sake of like avoiding
After
the
that,
ducks,
things
like
did
avoiding
get
the
quiet.
laughs, like
Until
really?
about 2005, when another patrol reported a massive triangular craft larger than a C-130 silently floating over the installation. He watched it for a few minutes. It traveled west and disappeared into the night. And then I had my own encounter, again in 2005. I was off duty, sitting in my backyard with two other police officers, when we noticed what first appeared to be a satellite in orbit. But it wasn't acting like a satellite. The light was strange, it was pulsing, and then it started to maneuver. It dropped in elevation. At times it would vanish from view and reappear in a different location in the sky. And eventually it reappeared 200 feet over my house. It was a 30-foot diameter
I mean, you should
sphere
see some of
of
this
light.
like, for real.
My friends and I watched
Like,
it for a
look
moment.
it up.
And
Look
then
up
it
mass
gently
UFO sightings.
accelerated
Everybody,
and traveled
everybody,
up
right
and
now, look it
disappeared
up.
into the
Mass
stars.
UFO sightings. Period.
These events profoundly changed my life and the lives of my friends. We stand at a pivotal moment in history. The question is no longer whether these events are real,
It's just
but
irritating.
whether we have
It's
the
just
courage to
irritating.
face them.
People are like,
On the evening of February 15th, 2023, at approximately 19:15 PST, in the Whiskey 291 warning area off the coast of Southern California, I was serving on board
And
USS
liberals just
Jackson.
be
A
mindful.
self-luminous,
Liberals especially.
tic-tac-shaped object emerged from the ocean
We should be
before
on the right
linking
side,
up
you know.
three other similar objects. The four then disappeared simultaneously with a high synchronized, near instantaneous acceleration. I observed no sonic boom and no conventional propulsion signatures. No exhaust plume, no control surface articulation on the Sapphire image system. Shortly after the synchronized departure, radar tracks dropped. From my experience operating in this region over many years, and
Whatever.
consistent with our public
What do you experience?
characterized encounters, unidentified
What's your
objects
story?
reoccur in United States operation areas off Southern California. That fact alone does not tell us what they are, but it does argue the systematic
It's an issue.
stigma-free reporting and for the preservation of sensor data so analysts can evaluate safe and intelligence implications with
There's nothing we can do about it at the end of the
reporting
day. you
without
know?
stigma,
Like,
protection
don't get me wrong.
without retribution.
It's not-
Sailors
Oh.
need to know that reporting UAP encounters will not harm their careers.
From 2011 to 2013,
About
I was
it.
stationed at Langley Air Force Base, Virginia, conducting 24-hour operations via manned and unmanned aerial vehicles for Special Operations Forces and the Global War on Terror. During the summer of 2012, my team was on standby for weather, and I returned to my barracks on base, and at approximately 0130, I saw an approximately 100-foot equilateral triangle take off from near the NASA hangar on the base. The craft interfered with my telephone, did not have any sound, and the material it was made of appeared fluid or dynamic. I was under this triangular craft for a few minutes, and then it rapidly ascended to commercial jet level in seconds, displaying zero kinetic disturbance, sound, or wind displacement. Some years after that experience, I was further exposed to classified information from the UAP Legacy crash retrieval program through a sensitive position I held within a special access program. During this time, intelligence officers approached me in fear for their own careers, citing misconduct within these programs and similar retaliation that I was already enduring at this time.
I want to cue up a
Disgusting.
video that I've been given. And as
Bigfoot's
before
fake.
someone
Loch
to
Ness is
describe, this
fake.
was taken
UFOs,
October
they
30th
up
of 2024.
As your government's
This video is
lacking
of an
on our
MQ-9
airspace.
drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile.
A plane
You cannot see that drone. And so I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll see exactly what it does.
I ain't not flying. I don't want to fly. They ain't sensible. You get the full point. Hope you have a nice day. I'll talk to you later. This is Dean FM After Dark.